Okay, welcome back to TwinStick Garage. On this On the Hunt episode, I found someone who's interested in these old 5-hole 22-inch split rings. And so I'm going to drive over to his place, and I'm actually going to trade some of these rims for some brand new 10R 22-inch tires. The only problem is he's located in Ohio. So I've rented this lovely little 6x12 foot trailer, and I'm going to drive to Ohio to give him these and then load in 10 brand new tires for Project Snowman to go with my 10-hole split rings that I've been collecting up. But then that's not the end of it. Once I get to Ohio and load in my new tires, I'm going to be on my way to New Jersey, New Brunswick, New Jersey. Going on a heck of a trip this week. And there's an old trucker there by the name of Carmen, and he had a 73 K100 cab over that was his pride and joy. It was done up absolutely beautiful. And unfortunately, he got in a bad wreck with it, and he wasn't able to drive anymore. And so the insurance company wrote the truck off and said, you know what, you can go and take whatever you want out of the truck before we scrap it. So he went in there and he took everything out. He took the complete interior, the overhead console. He had a custom-made stainless steel dash with all the switches. So I'm going to head to New Jersey, and he's got a whole bunch of other parts. He's got torsion bar, bushings, and a whole bunch of goodies that I need for the Iron Duke. So this is going to be one heck of an on the hunt. Total, it's about 8,000 kilometers, or for my American friends, 5,000 miles, and I'm going to try and do it in 6 or 7 days. So it's going to be a heck of a trip, but I hope you enjoy going along with me and seeing what we can find on the way.
I, Dr. Emmett Brown, am about to embark on an historic journey.
Alright, so away we go. I wanted to kind of show a time lapse of the trip, and I figured I'd just talk over it. I got my little microphone clipped to my jacket here and hands-free, so I thought I'd just talk over it and overlay the two together, and hopefully it's not too boring or hard on the eyes. But so anyway, I'm just headed eastbound and down, leaving just outside of Edmonton, Alberta, headed east towards Saskatchewan. I'm going to drop down into North Dakota and cross at North Portal. That's the border crossing there, and then on down into North Dakota, and then we're going to keep cutting east or southeast into a geography lesson here. Minnesota will be the next one over, and then Wisconsin, drop down through Wisconsin. I'm going to clip the top of Illinois and go through Chicago, and then basically just a straight shot through Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and then down into New Jersey, New Brunswick, New Jersey, actually. That's where I'm going to meet Carmen. He had that cool 73 K100. It was just his pride and joy, and unfortunately I got in a horrible accident, and it just so bad it actually ripped the front axle right off of the truck, and it was just a write-off. Frame was all bent up. So he's been sitting on a lot of the cool parts, and he and I were talking there on the phone, and thought, you know what, I'm going to go out and get all those parts for the Duke. They would just go so cool on there, and some of the special things that he made, like a custom handmade stainless steel dash that he wired himself. It'll live on again in the Duke. So we're going to head to Jersey and grab all of that, and then on the way back, we're going to go through back towards Ohio. We're going to drop down into Radnor, Ohio. Going to meet a fellow, his name's Eric. He runs a machine shop, Reiselt. Probably saying it wrong. I'm sorry, Eric. Machine Works. He has a company that does decks for medium and heavy duty trucks, and he's kind of a nut like me for restoring old trucks, and he loves the split ring rims. So someone actually got me in touch with him. One of the fans said that he put a post on Facebook, and he was trying to get because you can't get 10R22 tires, the tires that you need for the split ring rims, the authentic rims that were on the movie truck in Project Snowman. So he actually reached out to a company in Arizona called Southern Tire Mart, and they were going to do a custom order, I think, of either 50 or 60 tires. And so Eric was kind of coordinating all of this with a handful of nuts like myself. And he called me up and said, "Do you want 10 tires?" I said, "Absolutely. I'll be there to come and get them." So headed down to his place to grab those tires so we can make Snowman authentic and pick up those made in America 10R22 tires, and then we'll be headed back home. But yeah, I kind of dig these long haul trips. I haven't had an opportunity to do too many of them, but my hat's off to the truckers that do this for a living, because it's fun being out on the open road. But if you've got a family, it's just brutal being away from them all the time. And even on this trip, I'm going to be gone I'm hoping I can pull this off in 6 days, so I can sing the song as I'm pulling into the driveway on the way back. But it's going to be 6 or 7 days. But and even that, I'm going to be missing my family, my 2 wonderful daughters, and my incredible, understanding wife that puts up with all this nonsense. And yeah, I grab this stuff, and hopefully the trip is a safe trip, and get all the goodies back. And definitely when I get back to home, I'll show everything that I got. But again, I thought I'd talk over this, and while I'm doing it, I kind of dig the podcast when I hit the highway, and I kind of enjoy Bill Burr's. He's one of my favorites, and he rambles. He just talks into his microphone. So I kind of thought it'd be neat to do just a talk over of the time lapse. So hopefully it's not too hard on your eyes or hard on your ears, and you haven't already fast forwarded it or just stopped watching and went to watch something else. But if you're still hanging in there, I figure I'll maybe address some of the questions that get asked, the most common questions on the old YouTube comments. Probably the biggest one is, when are you going to paint your 359 Peterbilt little by little, and why didn't you paint it before and finish that project before you went off and started 2 more? And agreed, in hindsight, that probably would have been the right thing to do. I guess my squirrel mentality kicked in, and I ended up starting 2 more trucks. But I do want to finish LBL, and I will finish it. But I'm going to actually focus a lot on Snowman now that I got the tires. And Comment's going to send me some new hubs that I got to put on the truck with the longer studs, so I can put the inner and outer aluminum wheels on. I still got to put that new interior in from the day cab company, and obviously still paint the truck and put the decals on, and then with any luck, maybe find a trailer. And I want to take that whole mess to the Let's Go Truck Show in September. So that's what I'm shooting for now. And doing the math, I don't have enough Saturdays, because again, I just work on these trucks on Saturdays. It's kind of my weekend thing. I have a day job. I'm a mechanical engineer by day, and I have a very understanding family that lets me either tinker on trucks on Saturdays, or nice beat, squirrel, or head out on the hunt looking for trying to pick up parts, or looking at trucks that I shouldn't be looking at. But yeah, so that's kind of why you only get 1 episode a week, because it's whatever footage I come up with on a Saturday, or sometimes 2 Saturdays, I slap together and edit it all, and then throw it up for your Thursday viewing pleasure. So anyone who's asking, can we get more than just weekly videos, that's probably as good as it's gonna get. So, and with all the things, family, spending time with my family, and my daughter's in sports, and it's sometimes tough to even get those Saturdays in. Anyway, enough rambling about that. But yeah, I will get to little by little. But where I was going with it is, I don't have enough Saturdays between now and September to get Snowman done. So if I keep getting distracted and bouncing from truck to truck, so I think from now it's kind of early spring already. Late spring, I'm gonna start focusing on Snowman and try and get it for the Let's Go Truck Show. So if you're in the Edmonton area in September, I think it's mid-September, make sure that you head out to Leduc and come and see me and say hi. I'll have little by little there, and with any luck, Snowman. And what else? YouTube. People are always asking, now that you got the commercials on and you're a big time YouTuber, laugh, do you make any money with the commercials? And I make a couple bucks. I really appreciate the viewers, and especially the loyal fans that watch every Thursday, that sit through a commercial at the beginning and the end, and sometimes even in the middle. Each commercial does throw me a few pennies, so it adds up. It doesn't add up to help pay for the shop or the trucks. Some people ask, is it pretty lucrative? But it's not, unless you're a big time YouTuber. I mean, I'm thinking like a Whistle and Diesel. Think what you want of him. I think he's entertaining, but what he's doing is he gets millions of views every video, and that's where you start to make the real money. That's when you can go and take cash and buy $10,000 shoes or $200,000 hose or Lamborghinis. I don't get those kind of views. I just got like I say, a few loyal fans and a bunch of subscribers that enjoy watching me fumble around with trucks and go and look at old trucks. So again, thanks for watching, but I don't make big money. It helps buy a few parts, but that's about it. But I'm not in it for the money. I started this just for the love of trucks and sharing it. Oh, red light. And I'm gonna keep doing my thing and hope you enjoy following along. So what else? The editing, maybe. Some people ask, does it take lots to do the editing? I had a few people ask me that at the show last year, and yeah, it's not too bad. I actually I film pretty much all of my footage on iPhones, and I just use iMovie. It's a free app. Some people use the GoPros and stuff like that, but I like iPhones and iMovie. It seems to work well, and I just try and piece it all together and splice in little clips and little sound bites, and it seems to be working for me, so I guess I'll keep doing that. But yeah, the editing takes time. I read somewhere once that everyone wants to be a YouTuber till it's time to edit, and yeah, it can take a while to make a clean video, especially if you got a lot of footage. Some stuff I don't really like, or it's too long-winded, so I try and trim it off. I don't like to be boring. I'm probably rambling too much on this this voiceover time lapse, but if you're hanging in there, I guess I'll keep going, because we haven't quite hit New Jersey yet. What else? Oh, people ask, you're gonna buy another truck. You always go on the hunt, and how come you never buy another truck? And I'd like to. I mean, I'm running out of space. If you're still listening to this, you probably already know that I only have 3 stalls in my shop, and I've already got 3 trucks and plenty of work ahead of me. I've still got a couple years worth of work before all these 3 trucks are finished, because just to reiterate, I only work on it once a week, and it's just me. So I guess that'll be lots of good episodes for you to watch. But yeah, I mean, if a long hood Pete came along, 379 Pete, for the right price, for a blowout price, I'd probably be tempted. I'll have to find a place to put it. I'm kind of running out of space, as I said, but I think for now I'm good with 3 trucks. There's plenty of work to do and plenty of parts to buy. It's disposing of my disposable income, let's just say. But Mrs. TwinSticks did seem to indicate once, I asked her, and she said, you know what, I could get on board with the Hayes truck. Of course, Hayes is the Canadian-made trucks in the late 60s, early 70s. They were primarily made for logging, and their logo was a Kodiak bear. That's where the whole Save the Bears thing comes from. And I think they're so cool. It's a shame PACCAR came along, bought the company, and I guess they didn't see them profitable, so they shut them down in the late 70s. So they're a pretty rare truck, and I'd sure love to save one down the road. So who knows? Maybe a Hayes. But for now, like I say, I got my hands full, especially with trips like this, running around, driving all over the country, trying to find the parts that I need and collect up all the little pieces to make them just so. But anyway, hopefully that wasn't too boring, and you enjoyed the time-lapse trip between Edmonton, Alberta, and New Brunswick, New Jersey.
What you carrying in that cigarette pack? I said I got my second driver, and he's gonna drive all the way back.
Oh, I'm so happy. My GPS told me the quickest way through Illinois was through the downtown Chicago. Oh, I should have known better. What a treat this is. Oh well. Stay calm, Twin Sticks. You'll get through it. All right, good morning. So, final leg of the trip. Just left Fargo, westbound and down. And I can't help but wonder, looking out at all these fence posts, if that suitcase of cash is still out there. If someone ever found it. I don't know, Ezra. There's not a lot to look at in North Dakota.
There ain't nothing here, Lieutenant.
Wouldn't be a on the hunt episode if we didn't stop and look at an old truck. Look at this old beauty. Oh, even crooked Kenworth. Oh, look at all that snow. Oh, how am I gonna get over this? I love the bumper with the cut-out blocks. Yeah, this has got to be probably late 60s. Oh, isn't that nice? Right on. Old beauty. Look at that seat. Well, check out those old school gauges. Does it have the Kenworth? No, missing that. There's a little engine in there. Oh yeah, some old block. Well, I've been sitting here for a while. Well, that's interesting. Look at the fuel tank. The fill's right in the middle. And it looks like an authentic Kenworth number. I've never seen that before. Yeah, neat old K100. Wheatland Oil Company. Ah, I love this old history. These old trucks. Oh, check out the flat front lights too. All right, Mark. Enough looking at trucks that you shouldn't even be looking at. Let's hit the road. All right. Made it to the Canadian border. I hope they let me back in. You're allowed to import old truck parts, right? Well, that was pretty painless. I just had to pay the GST, or the Canadian Goods and Services tax, on the tires, and I was out of there.
Woo! Up to it, Harry! I'm out of here.
I was just thinking, when I came through here on the trip down, I was talking with the border agent on the U.S. side, and I was telling him my story. I said, where are you headed? I said, oh, New Jersey. What's the purpose of your visit? Oh, I'm going to get old truck parts. And he goes, you're driving to New Jersey to get old truck parts? And he looks at me and he goes, step out of the vehicle, sir, and open the trailer. So I don't know if that story was a little too far-fetched for him. So I went out there and we opened the back of the trailer up, and he saw the old rusty split ring rims, and he goes, have a safe trip, sir. And that was the end of it. So it wasn't too bad. I was surprised, and there was no I was really surprised both ways. There was no asking about vaccines or are you healthy or any of that stuff. So guess they're not too worried about that. They just want to get their pound of flesh for anything that you bought in the States and you're bringing into Canada. So, anyway, pretty painless. So let's put some miles on and see if we can get home before dark.
Hometowns are coming in sight.
If you think I'm happy to run 6 days on the road, and I'm gonna make it home tonight. It's good to be back in Alberta.
Westbound and down, 18-wheeler rolling. Are we gonna do what this
stretch.
can't be done?
Oh, home sweet home. Safe and sound.
for a wee nip and a wee nap.
All right, so here's the start of what I picked up on this trip. And I'm not going to go into detail on everything that's in all these containers, but rest assured, there's a lot of good stuff in here that's going to go perfectly on the Duke. And as I get into this project, I'll start using these pieces and putting them on there. So trust me, Mrs. Twin Sticks, this is all good stuff. It was worthwhile to go and get. But taking a step back, as I mentioned in this episode already, that there was Carmen who had a 73 Kenworth, which was the donor truck for all this stuff. Here's a picture of it here. He donated a framed picture. I should probably go a little closer so you can see it. But he donated a picture of his truck, and it's just going to go wonderful in the shop. So this was the truck that got in that horrible accident, ripped the front axle off and bent the frame. And luckily, Carmen and his wife survived, although he was very badly injured. He recovered now, but anyway, so the truck was a write-off. But Carmen actually saved a lot of the wonderful parts that were on this truck, and thank goodness that he did. And they're gonna live on again in the Duke. So what did I want to hit on here? Again, I won't go into detail, but there's some great stuff here. One thing that's cool I did want to highlight though, and I know this looks like an old rusty piece of steel, heavy too, but do you know what this is? This is actually air ride. So not a full air ride cab, but some of the nicer cab overs in the 70s had air ride on the back. So where the cab comes down, it doesn't just click into solid mounts, which is what's on this truck right now. So I'm going to convert the solid mounts to this air ride, and it's got a leveling valve and it fills up these bags just like the newer truck. So it was actually ahead of its time to try and soften the back of the cab as you're going down the road. So I have to sandblast this and get it all painted up, but that's going to be a nice addition to the project. But let's get into some of the cooler stuff here. Okay, so here's some of the cooler goodies that I picked up. So Carmen had it all customized on the inside, and he actually custom built an overhead console that obviously goes overhead up into the mounted to the roof section there between the two seats right over the doghouse. And it's got the CB, and I don't even know what that is. That's before my time. Must be something to filter out noise on the CB. And then of course you got your radio, and it's all wired up. It's all pre-wired up. So all I need to do is hook up power and the antenna and bolt it up when we finally get the interior finished. I've got proper Grovers. These are the one short, one long. So I don't know if I'm going to steal these for Snowman or if I'm going to put them on the Duke. But either way, now I got two nice sets. They just need some polishing. And check this out. This, for you young fellas out there, is a cassette player. I don't even know if I have any cassettes. I'm going to have to search around and see if I can find an old whaling cassette. But if you look real close there, it's actually got Kenworth right on the emblem there, or right on the radio itself. Now, obviously, this already has a radio in it. So what I might do is I might put this in Snowman to make it authentic. So that's a great addition. A couple old dashes, going to be great for gauges. There's a Peterbilt pyrometer and some other stuff that I can use for little by little. And now I've got tons of gauges. If you recall, the access door to the little cubby hole underneath in the back of the cab on the outside was damaged and was just full of Bondo on the Duke. So Carmen actually, he had stainless steel ones. If you remember from the picture, there was stainless steel doors on there. Basically, he just put a stainless steel skin right on the door, and he kept the doors. So when they scrapped the truck, he elected to, they said, take what you want off the truck. So he took everything and even the doors. So this is going to be perfect to replace that old banged up door. I just need to polish it up. And I really dig the stickers, the old glitter American flag and the Roadrunner, and some of the authentic stickers from when he used to run from the northeast coast in Jersey all the way down to Florida. He used to run fruits and vegetables in a reefer van trailer with this truck. So I'm thinking I'm going to leave a lot of those stickers that you can still see on there. And this one's even cooler. Again, I'm going to try and get close and stay in frame there, but some of the certificates, the commercial vehicle certificates for all the different states back when Carmen was running in the 90s there. So I think, again, I'm going to keep that authentic. We've got some stainless steel vents which will go perfect because mine are all rusted. What else? He even had a brand new spotlight. So we got Kenworth speakers. Oh, those are Pioneer speakers. I thought they were Kenworth, but this is pretty neat. Look at this. A brand new rear spotlight, which is perfect because I was actually one short. Well, I'm still one short. I stole the one off of there for Snowman, and I need 2 on this one. So, and theoretically I should have 2 on Snowman if I want to make it movie correct. So I still need 2 more of these, but I think I know where I can get those from the wrecker. So that's a great addition. And then the final coolest piece that I collected up from Carmen is this. Check this out. This is a one-of-a-kind dash. So Carmen wanted to redo the dash and all the wiring in his 73 Kenworth. So he told me he spent months building this. But look how beautiful it is. All brand new gauges and all pre-wired and coiled up. So he got rid of all the excess wiring. A lot of these trucks have more wires than you need. PACCAR would just run all of it for all the different configurations in all of the trucks. So let's say it would have all the wiring for air conditioning, but if you didn't have air conditioning, those wires would just go nowhere. So he gutted all the extra out of there that he didn't need and ran all new stuff. So when the insurance company said, take what you like, he took this out of the truck and he ran new looms all the way back. So where's the example? There's one for the trailer wiring. Is this it here? Yeah, so this is for to hook up the trailer. So he says you just uncoil this all the way back and obviously put your end on it, but you just snake it through the cab and then down the frame and it's already right there. So everything is pre-wired. And what's fascinating is that is all the wiring that you need to run an entire truck, which is great because, of course, if you've been following the Duke build, you know that the mice got into the cab something fierce, and there has been a lot of chewing of the wires. Someone commented in one of the YouTube videos that the old school wires from the 70s actually had an oil in the plastic, which is what made the little rodents, little varmints, start chewing on the outer wiring. So we can actually take all the wiring out of the cab, delete it all, and then put this in. But I mean, look how beautiful this is. Stainless steel, of course, it needs to be polished up, but I just love the old school toggle switches. I need to find a couple little jewels and one broken switch, but that's no big deal. But look at that. Look how clean and professional it is. You know, for what it's worth, I think that's better than Kenworth. That's better than Kenworth did because they just had the cheap toggle switches, and that's just such a clean installation. So thanks again for that, Carmen. I think this is going to be a wonderful addition to the Duke, and we'll live on again in this truck when I finally get it completed. All right, good stuff. All right, here's the real prize. This is a full set of brand new, made in America, 10-22-inch tires. So these, if you've been following the build for a while, you know that these are kind of the holy grail of truck tires, because these old split ring rims, they actually push through the tire like that, and you need that exact diameter to be 22 inches. Now I know a lot of you out there probably are aware that there's 22.5-inch opening tires, but that wouldn't work because it wouldn't fit right. It'd be a little too large and then the ring could come off, which would be ungood. So I've been searching for these 10-22 tires for the longest time. And the ones that I found at wreckers and the ones that are still attached to the 10 wheels that I've been able to scrounge up, they actually, they're pretty dry rotted, and they just weren't going to work. So what ended up happening was, I think someone reached out to me because there's a fellow out of Radnor, Ontario, Eric Reiselt, and he has a machine shop where they build decks for pickup trucks and medium and heavy duty trucks. They just do beautiful work, and he's kind of a truck restorer like me. Well, not like me. He actually he does them up almost like concours. He's very detail oriented and just does beautiful work. He loves internationals, so he restores a whole bunch of internationals. And anyway, he wanted to get some of the original. He's kind of a fanatic like me for the old split ring rims. So he wanted to get some of these original tires, and he was struggling as well. So he found a company out of Arizona called Southern Tire Mart. and they didn't have any in stock. They've stopped making these tires probably over 20 years ago. That's why you can't find any new old stock or otherwise. And he reached out to Southern Tire Mart and he said, look, I'm trying to get a group of folks together that are interested in these old tires, and if I can get enough interest, could we maybe place a custom order for, I think he placed an order for 50 or 60 tires. So he reached out to me and said, are you interested in 10 of them? And I said, absolutely. So that was the main reason why I went on this cannonball run down to the States, was to pick up these tires. So I got the added benefit of, he was really interested in the 5-hole rims that I got on that On the Hunt episode last year. So I hauled those down there and we traded for a few tires, and then I bought the rest of them. But we've actually got a full set of brand new 1022 tires for Snowman, and I couldn't be happier. So these are actually inner tube tires. So you got the flap. I got new flaps and new tubes, and so the flap goes around the rim and protects the tube from rubbing on the inside of the aluminum there. And then of course you got the tube with the just like old school, you could inflate this, and my daughters could use it in the summer on the lake. But no, this is going to be great. So I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do the installing of the split rings, because I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm going to try and maybe solicit the help of some folks that do know what they're doing. But one thing that Eric was suggesting, he says, take all your existing split rings and lay them down and then pour some diesel and ATF mix and let that soak in, because these rings can just be welded on and welded together. So obviously the steel against an aluminum rim and then welded to the tire. So let them soak. So I'll do that over the next few months, and then we'll see if we can break those free. But like I say, I couldn't be happier to finally find this missing piece. Well, I guess there's one more missing piece. I still need that Pace police scanner. But this was a big step forward, finding these tires. So I still need to get these wheels polished up. I'll get them over to Spectrum. We'll do 4 outers and then the 2 fronts on the other side, and then we'll get these mounted up. But what a treat! So now you know why I drove 5,000 miles in 6 days. I mean, I could have had them shipped, but what fun is that? I prefer to pick things up on my own. But yeah, very excited about this, and like I say, one step closer to making it just like the movie. Click the TwinStick Garage logo to subscribe, and be sure to comment down below. I encourage you to share any thoughts, feedback, suggestions, stories, or even just a simple hello. I read and appreciate every one. And if you really want to help out the channel, head over to my Patreon, a subscription-based service that you can sign up and see videos before they're released on YouTube. I'm also going to be posting some content that you can't see anywhere else, so go check it out.